So Stuart is a senior building consultant at Bentley Systems and has been there for the last 7 years, and 4 of which in the UK. His early career had about 5 years with Boston Partners. And about 4 with Design Systems, which are probably Hamilton Architects. So he seemed to have a rounded knowledge of large-scale projects from inception to completion using the Bentley platform. So he'd be well placed to share his views.
Now, what I might do is. Excellent. Okay, guys, we're not going to attempt to do anything too taxing today. What I'd like to do is give you guys a little bit of an introduction to AECOsim and its very basics and what it is. So the topics I figure we're going to get through to in the next hour are these. So we're going to start by having a look about view controlling, i.e. how we get around our model, rotating the view and all that type of stuff. Then we'll move on to a concept called AccuDraw. And AccuDraw is the way we draw with accuracy inside 3D space. Okay? We'll have a look at creating some solids, and what we'll do, we'll actually take a look at a conceptual model or a conceptual solid that might be the envelope of the building. And inside that envelope, we'll put in some spaces which might replicate different floor heights. And we'll tie those two together, and we'll push and pull the solid. Those spaces go with it. And once we've got those solids moving, we'll look at exporting those spaces to Excel in the areas of those spaces. And then finally, we'll probably get onto some drawing generation. How do we then generate a drawing from the model? I think that's about as far as we'll get. We may not even get that far, but we'll go as long as we can. So, right at the very beginning, let's open AECOsim. Now, it'll be on your desktop, but what I'd like you to do is actually get to it from the start menu, because we have a few options that we can open from there. Let's go to the start menu. Is that machine?
Transfer.
That one's off, is it?
Yeah, screen's off or something.
Okay, under all programs there, you'll have a folder called Bentley, which is the company that I work for that also makes AECOsim. And under AECOsim, you'll have a series of icons. Okay. Now, AECOsim itself is an all-in-one application, meaning it covers mechanical, structural, architectural, and just generic modeling as well. What these different icons do is they can open up a set of discipline-centric icons on your screen. So, for example, an architect is a all with mechanical tools, so they might just get in the way, so they can open up the architectural one. So what we'll do is, for the purposes of this exercise, let's actually use the architectural icon. We'll just fire open the AECOsim Building Designer, and you will get to a front splash screen here. Now, what we would like to do is when we get to there, I think it's because this one is opened earlier, you might get a license activation screen on there. Just hit the try button. Just hit the try button, the one on the right-hand side there. Excellent. Excellent. Now, what you'll have under project here is a list of different projects. Now, typically, this is where people create their own custom projects, as they have different ones. But what we deliver at Bentley is different regional data sets. So you'll see here that we have a New Zealand, 2 different types of New Zealand ones, 2 different types of Australian ones, a US, which is Imperial, and for the moment that's all that's installed. What we want to do is take the building template AU for Australia, and it should take you to a certain folder. And then only file you should see in that folder is called, that's the one. You should see designedsheets.dgn. DGN being the file format of all the Bentley applications. Let's just open that file up like so. Okay, here we go. Probably because it's the first time these are open, they're going to be a little bit slow. What they're doing is building a set of personal preferences for you guys on the local machine. Okay, this one's been opened before, so it's a little bit quicker. So the next time it opens, those preferences have been built and created, and they will be maintained. Okay, so you guys will see littered around the screen a lot of menus and so forth. We won't be able to cover each and every aspect of each one, but we'll get through a few and way we understand what a few of these things do. Right. Now, where we're going to do most of our modelling in this section is in this big window here. Now, this window is our isometric view. What we try to do in AECOsim is model in an isometric view. And the reason why we try and model in an isometric view a lot of the time is because it's an easier view to see what we're modeling. Okay? If we're modeling in plan or elevation or section, it's not as descriptive or visual as modeling in isometric. Okay? And it's also going to allow us to practice those things like AccuDraw and so forth I mentioned earlier a lot better. So what we'll do is these view windows, they are expandable. So if I double click on this one at the top here, it will expand. Okay? And that way we maximise the screen real estate on our screen. Now my resolution on mine is a little bit less than yours because I'm running through a projector, so it's obviously squashed it up a bit. It might look slightly a little different, but don't worry too much about that. So what we have here is a set of generic or standard call-out symbols which may link to a drawing. And what we want to do is we want to model inside that space. Okay? So we can create our own, you can create our own custom sections or elevations. We'll do that later on. Okay, so back to my PowerPoint. The next concept I want to take a look at here is view control. The way we navigate through our model. Okay? What we'll have is a set of tools on the screen. Now, most of the time we won't actually need to use those tools because we can do our navigation and view control from the mouse. Okay? But they're there should you need them. Okay? Some of them are actually quite useful, but we try to do as much from the mouse as possible because it's more efficient. So before we actually look at these ones, we need something to navigate around. So why don't we look at creating a very, very basic rectangular solid. To do that, what we'll do is you'll notice on the left-hand side of your screen, you'll have a menu called Architectural Design Expanded. What we can do is contract that by hitting this, or collapse it by hitting this arrow. And you'll notice one of the options down here is solid model. We'll just create a very, very simple, basic solid. Now, under solid modeling, this is often used for conceptual or generic modeling, where really we don't need to give the object information. It's more about form and structure and so forth. So the very first one on the list here is the slab solid. If we select the slab solid tool, which is this first one on the list, what we'll be presented with is a message down in the lower left-hand corner here. And that should say to you, or it should give you a guide as to what you need to do next. So what it says is enter the start point. So what you actually do is come over here to the design screen and click once. Just let that hang off the end of your cursor. We'll cover this in a bit more detail in a minute, but what you are given here is what we call an AccuDraw compass. And this is what allows us to draw in precision in 3D. And there's a whole host of keyings associated with this AccuDraw compass. So you can rotate this compass around depending on where you want to model. Now, the first message it says in the lower left-hand corner is define the length. So what we need to do is rotate that compass around. And to rotate it so it's lying flat along the floor, you type in the letter T, just like that, and you'll see that that AccuDraw compass lies flat on the floor. And before you hit T, it's actually physically looking at you. Okay. And then what you can do is you can define a length. Now we could do that by entering in a value, or we could just do it by eye. So what we'll do, we'll come out along this red axis you see here, and we'll just click onto the left. And the next message it gives you is define width. So just push your mouse this way to define width. And then it says define a height. So just push your mouse upwards like this, and you can define a height. You'll notice that AccuDraw kind of responds to what you need to do next. So it's kind of an automatic process there for AccuDraw. You can draw yourself a very basic cube object like that. Everyone go there. All good? Okay, great. So now we've got something to look at those view controls with. Now, first of all, like any other sort of 3D application, zooming in, zooming out is with your mouse button. So you roll it in, roll it out. Wherever you point to, you roll into that spot. So if I point to the edge or the corner of this cube, I'm rolling into the corner. Point to the side, I'm rolling just the corner there. Pan. Pan is holding down the middle mouse button. If you hold it down and move your mouse from side to side, you're actually panning your mouse. So you hold down the middle mouse button and pan from side to side. Everyone all right with the pan? Okay. To fit the screen or fit the view, you double click the middle mouse button. So maybe zoom on in a bit, double click the middle mouse button. You should fit the screen. Go on in a bit, double click, fit the view. To rotate the view, there's one option here. Hold down the Shift key, hold down the middle mouse button. Let's see what that does. So there's some very basic view navigations, and quite similar to other 3D packages as well together. Simple so far, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. There are other more advanced things like being able to move within the space. Funny thing is, with this application, they're about to put it in because not a tool to do so, but being able to walk inside 3D space. But I'll just show you quickly how you may do that. Okay. This tool up on the top here is your window area. So all these buttons here do exactly what we were doing before. So should rotate out the view, should fit screen, etc. This one is window area. Now, with the window area, you have this little toggle switch that says move camera. What that actually means, if that is unchecked, if I zoom into something, my zoom angle changes. Okay, so I'm just zooming in and out. If I actually check this box and zoom in, rather than me changing the angle of my focus and zooming in, I'm actually physically moving myself. Okay, so you go to that window area and just check the move camera box. And you can draw a window to zoom into different places. And we won't worry about the zoom.
Sorry,
question, where's the window area dialog box?
This one up here, just the one with the little window there. See that one there? Just check the camera. Because I'm going to lead on to something else in terms of walking inside this place.
The middle mouse was a good fan.
Okay. Now, this little toolbox over here, this one here, is all about giving the view some perspective. At the moment, we're on what's called a parallel view. Okay? We have no perspective going on there. So what you can do is you can hold down this button with your left mouse key and some other tools that you would here. One of them being the second one down, extra wide camera. Click on that, and you can see now that we've got some perspective. And you can tell you've got perspective because the edges that go up the z-axis are no longer parallel to the screen. They're on an angle. Okay, so by default in AECOsim, we have a tool called Navigate View, and there are tons of tools in here, and a lot of them are actually turned off by default. They're not displayed on the screen to avoid the screen. To see what's on and what's off, you can hover over any of the tool sets here, and you can press the right mouse key once, and you can turn on a whole set of extra tools. There's one in here called Navigate View. Let's just go and turn that on. There's this button here, it's the window with the little arrow there. Okay, so what you can actually do now is you can select that tool and you can point to a location on the screen and you can roll in. So I roll down to the floor. I may then want to look up at my box. You can click once with the left mouse button and you can just slightly shift your mouse to the left to the right. And you can move around. When you're finished looking at the location you want to look at, with the left mouse button again. So in this case, I'm too far in, so I might just want to back off by rolling the mouse button backwards. So wherever I point to, I roll into, or roll out from. Clicking with the left, it's very sensitive, so just moving my mouse around like that allows me to shift around. To finish any operation in AECOsim, you get the escape key, forget you even know anything about the escape key. Click the right mouse button on the mouse once. Okay, that's the cancel operation in AECOsim. You can click it. It's your heart's content like you do the escape key in any other application. It's to get out of trouble. Okay, so that's another way of being able to walk inside some space there. What we've done, I've created a customized tool. I haven't got them on your machines, unfortunately. It'll do all that in one hit. I think they're going to roll that into the software. But if you download it and you want that tool, just shout and I'll email it over to you. Okay, so that's your kind of viewing control. But for the purposes of what we're going to do today, what we can do is we can stick with a parallel working view. It's probably the easiest to work with. So to get back to our parallel view, come up here to the tool that gave you view perspective. Okay? You can hold that down and you can say camera off. Okay, you're back into a parallel view. And if you remember from before, to rotate the view, we held down the shift key, we held down the middle mouse button, and we just rotate it around. To turn that camera off, just rotate it around. Okay, how's everyone doing there? All good? Okay, so just turn that camera off, which is holding that perspective tool, so camera off. That's it, hold the shift key down and the middle mouse button. basics of AccuDraw and drawing with precision. What we can do, we can delete this object now. The easiest way to do that is coming up here and selecting the delete key, which is the big red number 8 button up here, and just clicking on the object and it should disappear. Now, if we just minimize the solid modeling tool or collapse the group here, you'll notice down below here we have a drafting tool set. Expand that. And under the drafting tool set, we have a lot of 2D drafting tools. Now, all these 2D drafting tools can be done in 3D, or the 3D space that we're in now. They're not restricted to 2D only. So, let's take a very basic tool at the moment, which is the very first one on the list here, which is called Place a Line, which is effectively placing a line. Okay. Let's take that tool, and what we can do is we select that tool, and we can click once in the mouse space down here. Okay. So, let's say we wanted to draw a line in our 3D space by a distance of 10 meters. Okay, well we're working in millimeters for a start, so 10 meters is going to be 10,000 millimeters. So what we need to do is point the mouse in the direction we want to draw the line, so I want to draw it this way, and I will type in 10,000. Do not hit enter. Just hit 10000. And you will see off the end of your cursor a line going 10 meters. What you need to do is click. So you don't hit enter. Everyone kind of falls into the trap of here hitting enter. You don't need to do that. It's just 10,000. Click. Then point the mouse in this direction and type in 10,000. Again, click. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll end up drawing a line straight, or a shape, but we'll do it a line straight. Yeah, we can draw a square, but that's quite challenging. Now, let's say, for example, I wanted to come back in this direction, and I did not know what that distance was there. Did not know. How do I then make that snap perpendicular to that point there? Well, what you do is you hit enter. What enter does, it actually locks you into that axis there that you're on and won't let you move, which means you can hover your mouse over this point down here and it will not change off that axis. So it's going to snap to that point there but not move off the axis. You can click, and then you can finish off this square by coming back to the beginning. Okay, so what we've actually done there, we've actually used 2 AccuDraw keyins so far. Well, 3 effectively. We used top to rotate the AccuDraw compass to the top. We used enter to make it stick to the axis. And we entered in some values. Now, when we did all that was in this box down the bottom here. Every time we did something through there, we have this box that says X, Y, and Z. And we did all that through that box there. So what we can do is we could have a look at all the keys available to us. So move your mouse over to this box and hold down your shift and then press on your question mark. What it will do is open up a shortcuts list. You can expand the shortcuts list and have a look. Maybe scroll to the top and you'll see 2 of the ones we actually use, which is T for top and enter for smart. So what they say out there is that if you can master AccuDraw, you can model absolutely anything you want. That is not true. It's very powerful, this. Now, we're not going to cover all these. The ones I do want to cover today, though, I want to cover T for top, F for front, S for side. I want to cover RE, which is rotates element. Probably not O for origin. Well, let's go through these four to begin with. Let's see how far we get. Okay. Going back to our model here, which is over to the side. Okay, let's say, for example, we wanted to place a line that came directly up the z-axis. What we can do, go back to your face smart line tool and hover over the edges of the square. And what you'll see is when the snap point is found, we get that sort of yellow cross lighting up. When it lights up, click with the left. Now, at the moment, our AccuDraw compass is lying flat on the floor. So that means any line I place in any direction will be lying flat on the floor. So what we need to do is rotate our AccuDraw compass so we have a z-axis. You've got two options here. You've got F for front or S for side. So remember those three, T, F and S. T for top, F for front, and S for side. You can pretty much navigate your way around anywhere if you've got those two. You can see if you hit them in unison, T, F and S, you can see that compass rotate around. Okay, so for this one, let's do S for side. And you can see that you now have a green z-axis running up in this direction. Okay. You could type in the value 5,000 and then click, don't hit enter, just 5,000. Then click. Now, interestingly enough, we've already done this one before. We don't need to know the distance of that. If we just wanted to lock that into there and have it snap perpendicular to there, we type in, or we just hit enter. Enter will lock the axis. And all we do is hit snap to the bottom point. Then we can use some existing points on the screen to snap to that point there. And we can finish the side of this up by putting that to the beginning. So there you go, you've got a plane there and a plane there. Using AccuDraw. How did everyone go on that one?
This is borderline,
Which is undo, and then you can come back and go that way if you like. Okay, very good. Now, what would happen if we went off angle? How would we go off angle? What I mean off angle is we've got a very orthogonal thing going on here. It's following sort of right angled settings everywhere. Well, we can do that. And in fact, after we've laid down our early geometry, the beauty of this is you can use that geometry as a basis to then create what you need. So what we might do is just draw a shape from that point to that point to that point to that point back to that point, giving us a shape on an angle, and then we'll show you how you can use that shape to then base further shapes from that angle from. So very easily, just come to your base smart line again, and you can go click, 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 created a shape on an angle. We're using that geometry now. Okay, so what we can do, I mentioned earlier on, one of the key ones here I wanted to cover. We looked at T, F, and S is RE. And what RE does, it allows us to rotate the compass to the angle of an existing object. So let's say, for example, we then wanted to draw a line, another line, place the first point out here, okay? We have our compass. Now, as we know, we can do a T, F, and S. That isn't going to satisfy the angle of this thing, is it? So what we can do, we can type in RE, and we can just click on this object once, and you'll see now how the AccuDraw compass rotates itself to be aligned with that object. And the way you can check that is you can hold down the Shift key, hold down your mouse button, just rotate around and have a look. Yeah, it should be on exactly the same angle. You will just place out this first point. Say your angle, existing angle looks like that. Type in RE and just click on an object that might be on an angle, and then you see your AccuDraw compass rotate, and you're good to go. So you're basically just creating a drawing plane on the fly using the existing object. Okay. Alright, so that's just a little introduction to AccuDraw there. You can tell there's a whole host of keys in there, and it's pretty powerful in terms of what it allows you to do with the geometry that you can create. Okay, let's have a look at another concept, moving into something that is a bit more 3D-like. So we've been using sort of very basic shapes and lines here. Very nice for sort of early conceptual work, but doesn't really satisfy that term. BIM. Well, actually, no, it doesn't. There's nothing in this world that actually has a zero thickness. But it's very good for doing kind of working out coordinates or working out things. So let's just delete this information. You could either run a selection from right to left, and it will overlap the objects, and you can hit the delete key on your keyboard. And the selection tool up here is number 1. Right up here at the top. Okay. Now, if you recall before, in our solid modeling dialog box, I'll explain to you what we're going to do. Now, what we'll do is we'll create a very basic rectangular solid. What we'll do is use a tool called the Spaces tool to actually create floor-like spaces within that solid. And then what we'll do, we'll start carving and pushing and pulling that solid and making sure those spaces actually react to the edges of that. Bit of a conceptual model, looking at areas of an envelope. Okay, so back to our solid modeling tools, we have this type solid here. Okay. And we'll just very loosely place a solid here. Now, what you'll notice, what's happened here with me, is AccuDraw's remembered the last angle I was working on, so it's not lying truly flat. Okay, you can see that kind of offset of angle between do those guys. So to get it back to flat on the floor, anyone? T, perfect. T for top, and you'll see it spin around and come back to the top of the canvas there. And what you can do then is place a length, place a width, and place yourself at height. Just any nominal values is too important there. Okay, what we'll look at doing now is what we call flooding a space within inside this particular object. So before we do that, what I'd like to do is make this thing transparent so you can see the inside. Okay. Now, the easiest way to do this is grab the selection tool here, which is number one, and click on the object once. And up at the very top of your screen, you'll see this blue icon. Okay? It's called the transparent tool. Can everyone see that one? At the very top there? Yeah. Just click on that button and you'll have a percentage of transparency drop down list. Just click on 90. And once you've got that looking like that, you can see it's transparent. We need to deselect it. And the easiest way to deselect something is by clicking on vacant space in the screen. So if I was to just click out here in vacant space, it deselects any selection. Okay. Excellent. Now, what we've done is we've made the active transparency of any further elements we create 90. Okay, because you can see it up there, it still says 90%. So before we go and do the next task, which we actually don't want to be transparent, let's go back and set our active transparency here to 0. Because all further elements we create, we 90%. Okay. Now, in order to create our very first space, say at the ground floor plane, what we need to do is rotate our view to the top, the top view, so we can look down on that object and flood the space that finds the edges. To do that, up here is our rotation tool, our view rotation. If you were to hold that one down, you'll see number 2, this is top view. Click on that, the whole model rotates to an exact top view. Okay, so what you actually got is under this rotation tool here, obviously the first one, rotate view, you can just use your shift middle mouse button, and then you have a whole load of other common types of view rotations that you may use. So you can get to your view rotations there. Okay, so to create our first, what we call space or floor, we can expand the architectural design dialog box here. Okay. And over here on the first set of tools, we have create space, the very first one. You can select that tool there. And this dialog box appears. It has quite a few settings in here you could alter or change. You could give the space a name. You could select a space type from the list, like toilets, like bedrooms, whatever. But we'll just go for a generic type at the moment because we don't know what that's going to be. And we'll leave it as is. Now, at the very top of this dialog box, these buttons are different methods of creating a space. You can draw one. You can use an existing shape to convert it to a space. Or you can do what we call flood a space. So select this one that's got this little paint bucket that's flood the space. Okay. And make sure your whole object is fitting inside the view. So if you need to, you can zoom out click inside there once and click again to create space. And what you'll actually end up getting here, if you click twice, it's a little label there telling you what yours is. Now who's got millimeters? Hold on. So click once. There you go. So twice there.
So this one is, yeah. Oh, we've got meters. If you want, it's you later. Yeah.
So you're actually
Oh, Jesus, that's enormous. Let's look at it.
Let's wind him up.
We actually do have to vacate, I'm afraid, Mr. Milne. The security are trying to lock everyone down. But
How did it go?
what's up?
How did it go?
because the security are going to try and kick everyone out of the labs pretty soon.
We're going to be at building by what, 5:30 or 6?
Yeah,
Yeah.
can be about 5:30.
For the labs and the building by 6.
Okay.
So we're getting close, just so you know.
Alright guys, what we'll do,
We didn't get a Bentley ball.
Yeah, they don't have it.
Oh, look at that, hands up.
Oh, another one?
what we'll do guys is this, just very quickly, we've got another 5 minutes, don't we Matt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay guys, so what you've actually done, you've all created a space at the ground floor there. Okay? Rather than sort of selecting different floor levels and then doing that again as different floors, what we'll do is we'll just copy that one floor up every 3 meters, and then we'll relink each one to the outside of the cube. Okay? So the easiest way to do that is go to that rotation tool again, this one right here,
Yeah, you
and hold it down and say front view. Now, what you're going to have, guys, is it's going to be interesting. We've got two things overlapping here. You're going to have the base of the cube here and the space. So what we're actually going to want to do is grab the space and copy it up. The chances are we're going to grab the other thing first. If you've got things overlapping, you've got to be able to tab through them to get to the thing you want to get to. So the easiest way to do this, you had the copy tool in 2 locations. One over here on 3, or you could hold down your right mouse key in vacant space on the screen, and this little toolbar appears. It gives you some common tools. One of them being copy. Grab the copy tool and just click on the base of the cube here once. And you'll see hanging off your cursor, we actually got the cube, but we want to get the space. So click your right mouse key. And what that does, it alternates through any objects that are overlapping. So you just click the right mouse key once. So you can see I've got a space there. It's just a single line. Is everyone all right with the space? Don't select the object first. Just grab the copy tool and click on that lower line. Do you want me to show you again? Let me show you again, very quickly. And remember, right mouse key cancels any operation. So if you grab something, just click the right mouse key. We click on any of them, just somewhere along the lower portion here, like that. And if you've got the wrong object, in this case I've got the right one, you just click the right mouse key once, and it will siphon through any overlapping elements. Okay, so get it to a point where you've got the space on the end of your cursor. It should just appear as a line. Oh.
Yeah.
Just click on there once. Yeah, once. And then move your mouse over here so you can see it with the right mouse key. Do it again. There you go. You've actually got 2 solids overlapping one another. Okay, so once you've done that, then all you need to do, like we did in 3D with AccuDraw, is point in the direction that you want to go. So we actually want to copy it up this way. Let's say we want to copy it 3 meters. We type in 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we click. And then it will still be hanging off your cursor. You can type in 3, 1, 2, 3 here, 3 meters and click. And you can do that. We can array it, but it's not enough to really warrant us doing that. You can just copy it a few times. And if you rotate your view around, you'll see that you have these floors now. And we don't have time because we.
You're out.
Really?
Yeah. I'm going to have to rip off the graph already.
You serious?
Yeah, sorry.
What time is it?
5 past.
Yeah, we do have tomorrow in the afternoon, if you're going to be around. This lab is going to be open all day.
Okay.
If people are interested, they can grab you and pick up for a one-on-one or a couple of people. I'm just going to leave it open.
Okay. Guys, what I just wanted to demonstrate quickly is this. What I'll do is very quickly, you don't have to do this, you can come a week or tomorrow and see me. Basically, these separate spaces need to be re-hooked up to the edge of the solid. It's pretty easy to do. I might just grab them like this, and then I'll deselect them by deselect this one by holding the control key. And there's this tool here, update spaces. If I grab that and just click on the screen, it'll just re-hook them up. So what you've got now is the ability to pull and push this thing. So I can pull that way, push it that way, and all the spaces are linked up. Okay? So the other thing you can do is draw on the solid. So I might say, okay, well, you draw on this space here, like that, and I might say, well, actually, I want to push that face down there. Now, what you sometimes get, I'll try and bring this back here a bit. Yeah, there we go. Sometimes if you go over halfway on the space, it'll lose some connectivity, but that's all right. So you can pull and push this around, and you'll get these 4 areas inside there. We can also compose it and carve it if we need to. The second final part I was going to do with this is then come to our data folder here. I was going to export this to Excel. So what we'll get, spaces dialog box in. I'll look at that one. And I might say data and export to Excel. What we'll do, we'll put that space schedule. There's our actual area there. The final thing I was going to look at is then using these call-out symbols to have a look at what that might look like in drawings. So there's our section of that and so forth. We've got to that part, unfortunately.
No, very good. Sorry about the timing.
That's all right.
We'll be able to go right through it. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much.
You know it's there, that type of stuff. That's what we go for. Feel free to come and see me on the Bentley stand tomorrow. I'm more than happy to go through it.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Stuart.